Fez Morocco. Fez, located in northern Morocco, is one of the country's 4 imperial cities and is often called its spiritual and cultural capital. It is divided into 3 main sections, but the oldest part, Fez el-Bali, is where the heart of the city truly lives. With more than 9,000 narrow alleys, it's one of the largest car-free zones in the world. A short walk through the Medina brings you to the Chouara Tannery, one of the city's most famous sites. It's been operating since the 11th century and is known for its large, round dye pits filled with bright colors. Nearby, the Bu Inania Madrasa stands out as a masterpiece of Moroccan architecture. Built in the 14th century, this former theological school is one of the few religious buildings in Morocco that non-Muslims can enter. A few streets away, the Al-Qarawiyyin Madrasa offers another look at Fez's artistic detail. The walls are decorated with colorful tiles and carvings that show the craftsmanship of the time. Walking deeper into the Medina, the Al-Qarawiyyin Mosque and University stands as one of Fez's most important landmarks. Founded in 857 CE, it's recognized as the world's oldest continuously operating university. Another nearby highlight, the Nejarim Museum of Wooden Arts and Crafts. Inside, the museum displays traditional Moroccan woodwork, including carved doors, tools, and furniture. Moving toward the edge of the Medina, Bab Boujloud, or the Blue Gate, marks one of the main entrances to Fez al-Bali. For a wider view of the city, the Marinid tombs are located on a hill overlooking Fez. The ruins themselves are simple, but the view of the surrounding area is remarkable. In Fez el-Jadid, the royal palace stands as one of Morocco's most impressive structures. While it's not open to the public, the golden doors and bronze gates can be admired from the outside. 21. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, is known for its beautiful streets, bridges, and buildings that reflect centuries of history. The city feels calm yet full of life, with each area offering something unique to see. A good place to begin is Prague Castle, which overlooks the city as one of the largest ancient castle complexes in the world. Inside the grounds, St. Vitu Cathedral stands out with its tall Gothic spires and colorful stained glass windows. Inside the cathedral, the St. Wenceslas Chapel is decorated in gold and rich colors. Nearby, the old royal palace adds another layer of history. The Vladislav Hall inside is known for its wide Gothic arches and was once used for grand ceremonies and jousting events. From there, Golden Lane offers a change of pace. This narrow street lined with small, colorful houses feels like stepping back in time. House number 22, one of the most visited, once housed writer Franz Kafka for a short period. A short walk away, St. George's Basilica provides a quieter setting. It's the oldest church within the castle complex and known for its Romanesque style and red facade. After exploring the castle, heading down toward the river brings you to Charles Bridge. Built in the 14th century, this stone bridge connects the Old Town with the Lesser Town. Crossing into the Old Town leads to Old Town Square, one of Prague's most recognizable places. Surrounded by colorful Gothic and Baroque buildings, it has been a central meeting point for centuries. The astronomical clock on the Old Town Hall is one of the main attractions here. Every hour, small moving figures appear during a short show that has continued for hundreds of years. At the far end of the square, the Church of Our Lady Before Teen stands tall, with its twin spires reaching into the sky. Inside, the quiet setting is filled with detailed carvings and artwork. 20. Oman. Oman lies along the southeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. In Muscat, the capital, you'll see the Sultan Ouabous Grand Mosque, standing tall with its white marble walls and graceful minaret. Not far from the mosque, the Mutra Souk gives you a completely different experience. The narrow passageways are filled with the scent of frankincense and bukhor. Leaving the city behind, you can head toward Wadi Shab. The area begins with a short boat ride across a calm river before you start hiking through a gorge lined with rocky cliffs. As you follow the path, you'll reach natural pools of clear, cool water that are perfect for swimming. Further inland, Jebel Shams offers a view that shows the scale of Oman's natural beauty. Known as the Grand Canyon of Arabia, this mountain's steep cliffs and deep valleys stretch far across the horizon. Not far away, the Bima Sinkhole is another natural wonder worth seeing. Here, the limestone crater opens to reveal a deep pool with blue and turquoise water. If you travel farther into the desert, Wahiba Sands stretches endlessly with rolling dunes of gold and red. The city of Nizwa gives you a closer look at the country's past. The large round fort dominates the town, and next to it is the Nizwa Souk, filled with pottery, antiques, and traditional crafts that reflect Oman's long tradition of trade. 19. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro rests along Brazil's Atlantic coast, with every area offering something different to experience, so you see the endless ways to enjoy the city's rhythm and scenery. A good place to begin is at Christ the Redeemer, the large statue that stands at the top of Corcovado Mountain. Here, you could take the Trem do Corcovado train, which passes through thick forest before reaching the summit. From there, the view stretches across Rio and the surrounding area. From one viewpoint to another, Sugarloaf Mountain offers another way to see the city. Located at the entrance of Guanabara Bay, it can be reached by 2 cable cars that move above the coastline. After exploring the hills, the beach is where Rio's energy comes alive. Copacabana Beach stretches in a long curve, lined with white sand and hotels. At the southern end, Fort Copacabana offers a look at the city's past. Not far from there, Ipanema Beach continues the rhythm of Rio's coastline. At the east end, Arpoador Peninsula gives one of the most popular sunset views in the city. For a quieter experience, Tijuca National Park is one of the world's largest urban rainforests, filled with trails and waterfalls. Close by, the Botanical Garden offers another peaceful retreat, with tall imperial palm trees lining the paths and large ponds filled with water lilies. Here, the Orchid House and Japanese Garden add even more calm to the setting. 18. Havana, Cuba. Havana, the capital of Cuba, sits along the island's northern coast. The city is divided into 3 main areas: Old Havana, Vedado, and Miramar. adding something unique to the city's character. Old Havana, or Habana Vieja, is the most historic area with cobblestone streets, colorful buildings, and open plazas that make it one of the most interesting places to explore. Close to Old Havana, the Malecón stretches along the coast for miles. This long seawall and road is one of the most recognizable places in the city. Moving farther inland, Plaza de la Revolución stands as one of the largest public squares in the world, known for its historical importance where many important speeches were made. Not far away, El Capitolio is one of Havana's most impressive landmarks. Once the home of the government, it's been restored and now houses the National Assembly. Back in Old Havana, Plaza de la Catedral stands out with its quiet charm. The Havana Cathedral, with its uneven towers and detailed facade, is the main feature of the square. The Museo de la Revolución adds a deeper look at Cuba's modern history. Inside, the exhibits tell the story of the 1959 revolution through photos, artifacts, and documents. Fábrica de Arte Cubano offers a completely different experience. Once an old oil factory, it has been transformed into a modern art and cultural center. Inside, you'll find live music, art exhibits, films, and performances all under one roof. 17. Petra, Jordan. Petra, located in southern Jordan, is a city carved from rose-red sandstone cliffs that has stood for centuries. Known as the Rose City, it once served as the capital of the Nabatean Kingdom and remains one of the most striking archaeological sites in the world. Your visit begins at the Souk, a narrow passage that serves as the main entrance to Petra. The path twists and turns before opening suddenly to reveal the treasury, also known as Al-Qarawiyyin, standing tall with an impressive facade carved directly into the stone. You can also take the Al-Qubta Trail for a higher viewpoint that gives you a clear, wide look over the surrounding cliffs. Moving deeper into Petra, the royal tombs rise high along the side of Jabal al-Qubta. These grand structures were carved into the rock as resting places for Nabatean rulers, with each one having unique patterns and colors formed naturally in the stone. As you continue, the colonnaded street appears, marking what was once Petra's main commercial road. Walking along the original paving stones gives you a sense of what daily life might have been like in the city. For a more challenging path, the trail to the high place of sacrifice takes you up steep carved steps to one of Petra's oldest sacred sites. Farther up into the hills lies Ardir, known as the monastery, standing alone in a wide clearing. Its grand doorway and solid columns show the same style of craftsmanship seen throughout Petra. 16. Dubrovnik, Croatia. Dubrovnik, known as the Pearl of the Adriatic, sits on the southern edge of Croatia's Dalmatian coast. Surrounded by the clear blue sea and steeped in history, it's a city where every stone seems to tell a story. The best place to start is the city walls, the symbol of Dubrovnik's strength and beauty. Walking along the full circuit takes you past towers, gates, and lookout points that reveal sweeping views of the surrounding area. Climbing to the top of Mincheta Tower rewards you with the highest and most iconic lookout point in the city. Once you've circled the walls, head down to Stradum, the main street that runs through the Old Town. Paved with smooth limestone and polished by centuries of footsteps, this street is always full of life. At one end stands Onofrio's Fountain, a masterpiece of old engineering that once supplied the city with fresh water. At the other, you'll find the Bell Tower and Orlando's Column, symbols of Dubrovnik's independence and pride. Just outside the city walls, Lovrijenac Fortress rises from a rocky cliff above the sea. Built on a high rock to protect Dubrovnik from invaders, it now serves as one of the city's most impressive viewpoints. Back within the Old Town, the Rector's Palace offers a glimpse into Dubrovnik's past as an independent republic. Once the seat of government, it now houses the Cultural History Museum with elegant arches and courtyards that make it one of the city's most beautiful buildings. A few steps away, the Franciscan Church and Monastery brings a quiet sense of calm. The highlight here is the Old Pharmacy, one of the oldest still operating in Europe since 1317, where you can see shelves lined with ancient medicine bottles and tools once used by monks to make herbal remedies. To see Dubrovnik from above, take the cable car up Mount Surt. At the top, you'll find panoramic views stretching across the surrounding area. There's also a museum dedicated to the Homeland War, which helps you understand more about Dubrovnik's more recent history. 15. Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town, located on the southwestern tip of South Africa, is a city surrounded by mountains and ocean views. The center of the city, often called the City Bowl, sits in a basin framed by Table Mountain, Lion's Head, Signal Hill, and Devil's Peak. Table Mountain National Park is the city's most famous landmark. Here, you can take the Table Mountain Aerial Cableway, a rotating cable car that gives you wide views of the surrounding area as you rise toward the summit. At the top, the flat plateau is covered with short walking trails leading to viewpoints, such as McClear's Beacon. If you want a challenge, hiking up through Platiclip Gorge gives you a steady climb with rewarding views at every turn. Heading south along the coast, you reach Cape Point. The cliffs here are steep and dramatic, shaped by constant waves and wind. Nearby, the Cape of Good Hope marks the southwesternmost point of Africa, a place that feels remote and open. Back in the city, V&A Waterfront shows a more lively side of Cape Town. Inside a converted Grand Silo stands the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, home to one of the largest collections of modern African art in the world. Just a short walk away, the Two Oceans Aquarium gives you a look at sea life from both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. After exploring the island, a calmer change of scenery awaits at Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden, known for its collection of South African plants. The Boomslang Canopy Walkway, a curved bridge made of steel and wood, winds through the treetops and gives wide views of the mountains and gardens below. A short drive away, Bal Kop adds character to the city, known for its bright houses and cobblestone streets that reflect the heritage of the Cape Malay community. Near Simonstown, Boulders Beach is a quieter coastal stop known for its African penguin colony. Wooden walkways allow you to see the penguins as they waddle across the sand or swim in the clear water. To understand more of Cape Town's story, the District 6 Museum gives insight into one of its most painful chapters. The museum honors the memory of over 60,000 people who were forced to leave their homes during apartheid. 14. Seoul, South Korea. Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is a city where the past and present connect seamlessly. The mix of old and new makes every part of the city feel alive with something to experience. Gyeongbokgung Palace is one of the most important historical sites in Seoul. Built in 1395, it served as the main royal palace of the Joseon dynasty. The wide courtyards and wooden gates show the elegance of the era, and inside, Gyeonggaru Pavilion stands above a calm lotus pond that once hosted royal banquets. Not far from the palace, Myeongdong shows the energetic side of modern Seoul. This area is filled with shops, bright signs, and the smell of street food in the air. Food stalls line the main streets, selling items like spicy tteokbokki, soft mandu, and sweet hotteok. Between shopping and trying snacks, the Nanta show adds a fun break. This wordless performance combines comedy and rhythm in an entertaining way. A short walk away, Myeongdong Cathedral provides a quiet and peaceful contrast to the busy streets outside. Close to this area, Bukchon Hanok Village offers a glimpse of traditional Korean life. The village is filled with Hanok houses dating back to the Joseon period. The calm streets are still home to local residents, giving the area an authentic feel. A short trip from the village takes you to En Seoul Tower on Namsan Mountain. The cable car ride to the top gives a scenic view of the city below. Nearby, Cheongdeokgung Palace provide a quiet experience surrounded by nature. Here, the buildings follow the shape of the hills and the gardens that have stood for centuries. 13. Hoi An, Vietnam. Hoi An sits along Vietnam's central coast with narrow streets and yellow-painted buildings. Known for its riverside charm and local traditions, Hoi An is one of the most enjoyable places to walk through in Vietnam. Hoi An Ancient Town is the main area you'll want to explore. As you walk through its streets, you'll see wooden homes with tiled roofs, silk lanterns hanging over the doors. A short walk leads to the Japanese Covered Bridge, one of Hoi An's most recognized landmarks. Built in the 17th century, the bridge is made of wood with a curved roof. Not far from there, the Pukkin Assembly Hall shows another side of the town's history. It was built by Chinese traders from Fujian province in the 1600s and stands out with its red gates, dragon statues, and colorful decorations. You can also visit the old house of Tan Ki, one of the most well-preserved merchant homes in the ancient town. Built in the 18th century, you'll see wooden beams, antique furniture, and family altars that have been cared for over generations. Outside the main town, the Bay Mao Coconut Forest, also known as Cam Tan Village, offers a different experience. The area is surrounded by coconut trees and is best explored by basket boats, which are small, round boats that take you through narrow waterways. A short ride away, Anbang Beach gives you a chance to relax by the coast. The soft sand and clear water make it one of the best beaches near Hoi An. If you want to see more of the countryside, take a bicycle ride to Traku Vegetable Village. The path leads past rice paddies and open fields until you reach small family-run farms. Here, you can take part in traditional planting and watering, or watch the farmers use old methods that have been passed down for generations. Hoi An Central Market gives you a view of everyday activity, filled with fresh smells from fruits, herbs, and seafood. It's a good place to try local dishes like khao lao noodles or ban shio pancakes, all made fresh right in front of you. 12. Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, is a city built on 7 hills along the Tagus River. Start in the Belém district, where many of Lisbon's most famous landmarks are found. The Jerónimos Monastery stands as one of Portugal's most impressive architectural achievements, with its detailed carvings and tall arches. Inside, you can see the tombs of Vasco da Gama and Luís de Camões, 2 important figures in Portuguese history. Not far from the monastery, the Belém Tower rises beside the river. Once a defensive fort, it now serves as a reminder of Lisbon's age of discovery. Moving from Belém toward the city center, the Alfama and Castelo districts show a more traditional side of Lisbon. São Jorge Castle sits high above the city, offering wide views of the red rooftops and the river below. In the Baixa district, you'll find wide squares and clean streets, with Commerce Square being the centerpiece here. A short walk from the arch, the Carmo Convent ruins show a more reflective side of Lisbon's past. Left roofless after the Great Earthquake, the Gothic arches now stand open to the sky. The National Tile Museum is also worth a visit, displaying hand-painted tiles from the 15th century to today. For one of the best views in Lisbon, go to Miradouro da Senhora do Monte. It's one of the highest points in the city and offers an open view of the surrounding area. For something more modern, LX Factory offers a different experience. This former industrial complex has been turned into a creative space where you can walk through its open courtyards and see murals painted on old walls. 11. Namib Desert. The Namib Desert stretches along the coast of Namibia, known as the oldest desert on Earth, shaped by wind and dry air for millions of years. Your journey often begins in Namib Naukluft National Park, home to Sossusvlei and Dedvlei. Sossusvlei is a wide white clay pan surrounded by tall red dunes that glow in the sunlight. Dedvlei sits nearby, known for its blackened camel thorn trees that have stood for centuries against a bright red and blue backdrop. For a simple hike, Dune 45 is a good place to start. It's one of the most accessible dunes in the park and gives you a wide view of the desert from above. If you prefer something more challenging, Big Daddy stands taller and offers a longer climb with an incredible view of Dedvlei below. When you return to the ground, Sesrium Canyon nearby is worth exploring, with its narrow passage carved by the Salchob River. As you move north, the scenery changes again along the Skeleton Coast. This area is known for thick fog, cold winds, and the remains of ships that ran aground long ago. On land, you can see large groups of Cape fur seals resting near the shore. Holmenskop shows another side of the desert's history. This abandoned mining town once thrived during the diamond boom, but was later taken over by sand. The old houses, built in the German style, now stand partly filled with sand that is blown in through broken doors and windows. Heading inland again, the ground becomes rocky as you reach the Spitzkop Mountains. These rounded granite peaks rise from the desert floor and shine with golden light during sunrise and sunset. 10. Queenstown, New Zealand. Queenstown, known in Maori as Tahuna, sits in the southwest of New Zealand's South Island and is often called the adventure capital of the world. Surrounded by mountains and Lake Wakatipu, the town offers both excitement and calm in one place. A good way to start exploring is by taking the Skyline gondola up to Bob's Peak. The steep ride gives you wide views of Queenstown and the surrounding area. If you want to go higher, the Ben Lomond track begins here and leads to a summit that overlooks the surrounding peaks and valleys. Back in town, Lake Wakatipu is the center of many popular activities. Here, you can take a scenic cruise on the TSS Earnslaw, a historic steamship. The Shotover River brings a different type of excitement. The Shotover Jet takes you on a fast ride through narrow canyons with sharp turns and splashes that make it one of the most popular experiences in the area. Not far away, The Chouara Bridge holds its own place in Queenstown's story as the site of the world's first commercial bungee jump, so you can either take the jump yourself or watch others dive from the bridge as they swing above the river. A short drive from town brings you to Moke Lake, a horseshoe-shaped lake surrounded by open hills. Walking the Moke Lake Loop Track is peaceful and easy, while the short climb to the secret Moke Lake viewpoint gives a wider view worth the effort. Closer to town, the Queenstown Gardens offers a quiet space on a small peninsula. If you want an even quieter setting, Sunshine Bay is a small local beach where you can relax by the water. Another spot worth exploring is Bob's Cove, where a short forest walk leads to a clear bay with calm water. Also, the onsen hot pools provide one of Queenstown's most relaxing experiences, overlooking the Shotover River Canyon. 9. Iceland. Iceland is a country shaped by volcanoes, glaciers, and powerful natural forces that make it unlike anywhere else. Only a small part of the land is covered in plants, while most of it is made up of lava fields. Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, is a small but lively city, known as the world's northernmost capital of a sovereign state. Hallgrímskirkja Church stands tall above the city, and going up to its tower gives you a wide view of Reykjavik. A short drive from Reykjavik brings you to the Blue Lagoon on the Reykjanes Peninsula. This geothermal spa is one of Iceland's most famous spots, with bright blue water surrounded by black lava rock. From here, the Golden Circle route is one of the easiest ways to see some of Iceland's best-known attractions. The first stop is Þingvellir National Park, a place where two tectonic plates slowly pull apart, forming visible cracks in the ground. Next is the Geyser geothermal area, where the Strókur geyser shoots boiling water high into the air every few minutes. The ground here is warm and steaming, showing how active the earth beneath is. The last stop is Gullfoss Waterfall, one of the country's most powerful falls. Water from the Hvita River crashes down 2 tiers into a deep canyon, creating a mist that often forms a faint rainbow on sunny days. As you move along Iceland's south coast, the scenery becomes even more striking. Reynisfjara Beach is one of the most dramatic places in the country, with black volcanic sand, tall basalt columns, and sea stacks rising from the water. Farther east, the road leads to Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, where huge chunks of ice float in calm blue water. Here, you can take a boat tour that moves through the lagoon, getting close to the ice. Across the road is Diamond Beach, where small pieces of ice wash ashore and sparkle on the black sand under the sunlight. Along this same stretch of road, 2 waterfalls stand out as must-see stops. Seljalandsfoss allows you to walk behind its curtain of water, giving you a full circle view from all angles. A short drive away, Skuggafoss roars down in a single wide drop where you can climb the staircase next to it for a clear view of the coast and the river that flows above the falls. Away from the popular routes, there are quieter places like Stullagil Canyon that has become known for its symmetrical basalt columns and deep turquoise river. A short walk brings you to Gylfaborg Waterfall, which is partly hidden inside a narrow canyon. Here you can walk through a shallow stream and step into the small moss-covered chamber where the waterfall drops into a pool. In the north, Kollafjörður Canyon offers wide views of the surrounding area. The Vjöldasala River flows through it, creating a series of waterfalls known as Kolufasar. During the summer, Vervallir Nature Reserve in the Highlands gives you a view of Iceland's geothermal power in its purest form, with bubbling hot springs, fumarolas, and open lava fields. On the Snæfellsnes Peninsula on the west, Rúrfagötuá Gorge cuts through the cliffs of Botnafjall Mountain. From the outside, it looks like a narrow crack in the rock, but walking in reveals a tall, narrow passage with a stream running through it. Not far from there, Grabrók Crater is another easy stop along the main road. It's one of 3 craters in the area, formed by an eruption thousands of years ago. A wooden staircase leads to the top, where you can look down into the crater and across the surrounding lava field. 8. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia is a region in central Anatolia of Turkey, shaped by ancient volcanoes. The soft rock formed millions of years ago and has been carved into unusual towers known as fairy chimneys, creating a view that feels both historic and natural. Across the valleys, you can see carved homes, churches, and tunnels that show how people adapted to this unique land over centuries. One of the most memorable things to experience here is a hot air balloon flight at sunrise. As the sun rises, hundreds of balloons lift off together, filling the sky with color. From above, the valleys stretch out in every direction, dotted with cone-shaped rocks and winding trails. After the flight, the Göreme Open Air Museum gives you a closer look at the region's history. This UNESCO World Heritage Site holds dozens of ancient churches and chapels carved directly into the stone. Inside, frescoes from the 10th to 12th centuries remain bright and clear. A short distance away, Uchisar Castle rises high above the valleys. It's the tallest point in Cappadocia, and an easy climb that rewards you with one of the best views in the region. Beneath the surface, Cappadocia hides another world. The underground cities of Kaymakli and Derinkuyu were once used as shelters by thousands of people. The tunnels are narrow and cool, leading through stables, kitchens, and storage rooms carved into the rock. Another beautiful area to walk through is Rose Valley and Red Valley. The trails connect across ridges that change color as the day goes on. In the late afternoon, the rocks glow in shades of red, orange, and pink. If you want a quieter area, Songali Valley is a peaceful option with a few scattered churches built into the stone. The Blackhead Church and the Snake Church are among the highlights. Another interesting place to explore is the Zelve Open Air Museum. This old cave village once housed families who lived among the rock formations until the mid-1900s. Today, the homes and tunnels remain open, giving you a sense of what life looked like before erosion made the area unsafe. 7. New York City. New York City, located in southeastern New York State, is one of the most recognizable places in the world. Manhattan is the center of it all, home to many of the city's most famous attractions. Here, Central Park provides a calm space where you can take a walk along the mall lined with American elm trees or spend a quiet moment at Bethesda Terrace and Fountain. A short distance away, the Metropolitan Museum of Art holds one of the world's largest art collections. Inside, the Egyptian and European sections draw attention. A few blocks south, Times Square shines brightest after dark. The large digital screens and constant movement make it one of the liveliest areas in the city. From there, it's a short walk to the Broadway Theater District, where you can watch a live show. For a view that captures the city from above, the top of the Rock Observation Deck at Rockefeller Center gives you a full look at the skyline. The Empire State Building itself gives another perspective of the city's height and layout. In Lower Manhattan, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum honors the lives lost in the events of September 11, 2001. The twin reflecting pools are surrounded by the names of those who passed, creating a quiet and respectful atmosphere. Nearby, you could take a ferry to the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island. Seeing the Statue of Liberty up close and walking through the Ellis Island National Museum of Immigration gives you an understanding of how millions of people began their lives in America. Moving west, the High Line offers a unique outdoor walk above the streets. Built on a former railway track, this elevated park is filled with plants and art displays. From there, it's easy to continue toward the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most well-known structures in the city. Brooklyn has its own rhythm, known for its creativity and community spirit. Here, the New York Transit Museum, built inside a former subway station, gives a close look at the city's transportation history. Vintage subway cars and buses are displayed inside, and you can walk through them to see how transit has changed over time. Queens, the largest borough by area, is known for its diversity. It's also home to Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, one of the city's biggest open spaces. The Bronx adds another layer to the city's story, known as the birthplace of hip-hop and home to Yankee Stadium, where baseball fans gather year-round. The Bronx Zoo is another highlight, with large animal exhibits and walking paths that make it a great escape from the city's pace. Across the harbor, Staten Island offers a slower side of New York. Here, the Staten Island Greenbelt provides hiking trails, while Todt Hill gives you one of the highest natural viewpoints in the city. Beyond the main attractions, New York has hidden places like the Met Cloisters, focused on medieval art and architecture. Another place worth visiting is Governor's Island. The island is car-free, making it easy to bike or walk around, so you can relax in open green spaces. Inside Grand Central Terminal, the Whispering Gallery is a small but interesting spot, known for its unique acoustics. If you stand in one corner and speak softly, someone standing diagonally across can hear you clearly, even with the station's noise around you. In Chinatown, Doyer Street stands out for its shape and story. Once known for crime in the early 1900s, it's now lined with colorful murals and authentic Chinese restaurants. For a short but memorable ride, the Roosevelt Island Tramway connects Manhattan and Queens. The trams move quietly over the East River, offering wide views of the city that feel special from above. To understand how many New Yorkers once lived, the Tenement Museum gives a personal look into the lives of immigrant families from the 19th and 20th centuries. Guided tours take you through preserved apartments, showing what life was like as people built their futures in a growing city. 6. Santorini, Greece. Santorini, officially called Thera, is the southernmost island in Greece's Cyclades group. Shaped like a crescent around a large water-filled caldera created by a volcanic eruption long ago, the island is known for its white houses, blue dome churches, and cliffs overlooking the Aegean Sea. Oya is one of the most famous spots on the island, with its narrow lanes winding through whitewashed buildings and blue domes. From Fira's old port, you can take a short boat trip to reach the volcanic islands of Nea Kameni and Palia Kameni. On Nea Kameni, a walking trail leads you across black lava rock and up to a steaming crater, showing how the volcano is still active. Near Palia Kameni, the hot springs provide a chance to swim in warm, mineral-rich water with a deep orange hue from the iron content. Another highlight is the trail connecting Fira to Oya. The path follows the caldera's rim, passing through Fido Stefani and Emero Vigli, where you can stop to see small chapels and cliffside viewpoints. Down by the coast, the beaches of Perissa and Perivolos show a different side of Santorini. The sand is black from volcanic activity, giving the shoreline a unique look. Heading south brings you to the archaeological site of Akrotiri, often called the Minoan Pompeii. The ancient city was covered by volcanic ash thousands of years ago, preserving homes, tools, and artwork from a once thriving community. Nearby, the Akrotiri Lighthouse marks the southwestern edge of Santorini, offering open views of the sea. Pyrgos village offers another perspective on island life, sitting on a hill surrounded by narrow alleys and traditional homes. As you walk upward toward the Venetian castle, the island spreads out below you in every direction. Megalochori is another village worth exploring, with its streets lined with Cycladic and neoclassical houses, stone walls, and tall bell towers that rise above the rooftops. 5. Banff National Park. Banff National Park in Alberta is Canada's first national park, established in 1885. Covering over 2,500 square miles of mountain peaks, turquoise lakes, and pine forests, it's a place that feels both peaceful and full of life. Lake Louise is one of the most well-known parts of the park, with its bright turquoise water surrounded by tall mountains. Here, you can paddle a canoe across the calm surface, or walk the easy lakeshore trail for steady views of the water. Not far from there, Moran Lake gives a view that's just as striking. A short drive away, the Banff Gondola on Sulphur Mountain takes you high above the valley. At the summit, you can explore the Interpretive Center, or walk the boardwalk leading to the historic Cosmic Ray Station. Next, Johnston Canyon provides an entirely different kind of experience. The trail follows catwalks built along the canyon walls, bringing you close to rushing waterfalls and smooth rock formations. Continuing along the Icefields Parkway, Peyto Lake offers one of Banff's most recognizable views. The short walk to the viewpoint reveals a lake shaped like a fox or wolf head, glowing a bright blue in summer when the glacial water is at its peak color. After exploring the nearby trails, Banff Upper Hot Springs is an ideal place to relax with its warm, mineral-rich waters. Beyond the popular sites, Banff also has quieter areas like the Ink Pots, a group of small mineral pools that bubble naturally from the ground. Back in town, the Cascade of Time Garden offers a relaxing change of pace. Neatly arranged flowers, stone walls, and small ponds line the paths, creating a calm space. Also, Tunnel Mountain Lookout gives one of the best views of Banff overlooking the surrounding area. 4. Venice, Italy. Venice, Italy is a city built on water, where canals take the place of streets and boats glide past buildings that seem to rise from the sea. The Grand Canal curves through the city like a main road lined with palaces, cafes, and colorful facades that show centuries of history. A good place to start is Piazza San Marco, the most famous square in Venice. The square is filled with music from Café Florian, one of Europe's oldest coffee houses. Nearby stands St. Mark's Basilica, known for its golden domes and thousands of mosaic tiles covering the walls and ceilings. Next to the basilica is the Campanile di San Marco, the tall bell tower that defines Venice's skyline. Here, you can take an elevator to the top for a panoramic view of the city. Across the water, San Giorgio Maggiore Island stands with its own church and bell tower. A short vaporetto ride takes you there, and from its top, you get one of the best views of Venice. The Doge's Palace is another key landmark, known for its pink and white marble design and detailed Gothic arches. Inside, large halls are decorated with paintings by various artists. One of the most well-known parts of the tour is crossing the Bridge of Sighs, which once connected the palace to the old prisons. Not far from here, the Rialto Bridge spans the Grand Canal. It is the oldest and most famous bridge in the city, known for its elegant stone arch. Taking a gondola ride is one of the most relaxing ways to see Venice. As the gondolier rows through calm waters, you pass under small bridges and alongside homes with open windows and hanging plants. Beyond the main sites, Venice has many hidden places like Libreria Acqua Alta, a bookstore filled with stacks of books kept in bathtubs, barrels, and even an old gondola to protect them from flooding. Another area worth visiting is Campo Santa Margherita, a large square that is lively throughout the day. Scala Contarini del Bovolo is another hidden gem with a spiral staircase that wraps around the outside of the building. For a look at traditional craftsmanship, you can walk to Squero di San Trovaso, one of the few remaining workshops where gondolas are built and repaired. Watching the work shows how these boats are still made using time-tested methods. 3. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, located high in the Andes Mountains of Peru, is one of the most remarkable archaeological sites in the world. Built in the 15th century as an estate for the Inca Emperor Pachacuti, it was later abandoned until its rediscovery in 1911. It now stands as a symbol of Inca engineering, precision, and devotion to nature. A good place to begin exploring is the Guardian's House, which gives you the famous panoramic view of the entire citadel. Moving deeper into the site, the Intihuatana stone stands as one of Machu Picchu's most important features, believed to have been used by the Incas as a solar clock or calendar. Close by, the Temple of the Sun shows some of the most detailed masonry in the entire site. Built in a curved shape with polished stone walls, the structure highlights the Incas' respect for the natural world. Continuing through the citadel, the Temple of the Three Windows sits on the sacred plaza. It has 3 large trapezoid openings that face the mountains. As you move downhill, the agricultural terraces show another example of the Incas' skill. These terraces, carved into the steep mountainside, were used to grow crops, manage water flow, and prevent soil erosion. A short trail from the main ruins leads to the Inca Bridge, one of Machu Picchu's hidden features. The bridge was part of a narrow path carved into a cliffside, with a gap that could be crossed using wooden logs. Nearby, the Temple of the Condor is another fascinating part of the site. The Incas used natural rock formations and shaped surrounding stones to form the image of a condor, a bird that symbolized the upper world in their beliefs. For an easier hike, Huchuy Picchu provides a shorter route with rewarding views. From the top, you can see the entire citadel from a new angle, with its terraces, temples, and stairways spread below. 2. Paris, France. Paris, known as the City of Light, is located in the north-central part of France. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most recognized symbols of the city. It rises above everything around it, offering wide views of Paris from every level. At night, the tower glows with thousands of lights, shining for 5 minutes every hour. Across the Seine, the Trocadero Gardens offer one of the best places to take photos of the tower. Not far from the tower, the Louvre Museum shows another side of Paris. It's the largest art museum in the world and filled with thousands of works from across time. While the Mona Lisa and Venus de Milo draw most of the attention, the museum's smaller rooms and collections offer even more to explore. A short walk from the Louvre brings you to the Arc de Triomphe. This grand monument honors those who fought for France and stands as a symbol of national pride. The eternal flame at its base burns in memory of fallen soldiers. Across the river, the Musée d'Orsay stands inside a former train station. Built in the 19th century, you'll find famous paintings by various artists. Moving toward Ile de la Cité, the small island in the middle of the Seine, you'll see the Notre Dame Cathedral. Its tall towers, stone carvings, and pointed arches make it one of the most important examples of Gothic design. Just outside, a small marker called Point Zero marks the official center of France. Close by, Sainte-Chapelle stands as another highlight of the island. The chapel's tall stained glass windows cover nearly every wall, filling the space with colored light when the sun shines through. When the day starts to fade, taking a cruise on the Seine is one of the best ways to see the city from a new angle. As the boat moves under bridges and past monuments, you can watch the lights of Paris reflect on the water. Away from the main sites, Paris also has quiet places that show a more local side of the city. The covered passages, like Galerie Vivienne and Passage des Panoramas, are glass-roofed arcades from the 19th century, lined with small shops and bookstores. If you want to see a neighborhood that feels more like a small town, the Butte aux Cailles area in the 13th arrondissement is a good place to go. The streets are narrow and peaceful, filled with murals and small homes. For a relaxing walk, the Promenade Plantée, also called the Coulée Verte René Dumont, stretches for about 3 miles across the 12th arrondissement. In the 5th arrondissement, the The Ornate de l'Utese connects you to the city's ancient past. This Roman amphitheater dates back nearly 2,000 years and remains one of the oldest visible ruins in Paris. 1. Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto, located in Japan's Kansai region, is often called the cultural capital of the country. It's filled with temples and shrines, as well as gardens that have stood for centuries. Start your visit at Fushimi Inari Taisha, one of Kyoto's most recognized landmarks. The path here leads through thousands of red torii gates that stretch up Mount Inari. Not far away, Kiyomizu-dera Temple stands on wooden platforms built into the hillside. From the top, you can see a wide view of Kyoto. Below the temple is the Ottawa waterfall, where drinking from its clear streams is said to bring good health, long life, and success. Another highlight is Kinkakuji, also known as the Golden Pavilion. The temple's upper floors are covered in gold leaf, and its reflection on the calm pond creates a scene that feels perfectly balanced. To experience more of Kyoto's natural side, visit the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. Tall stalks of bamboo rise above you, and the sound of the wind moving through them makes the walk peaceful. Just nearby is Tenryuji Temple, a major Zen temple known for its traditional garden, where ponds and plants are arranged in harmony with the surrounding hills. The Gion district gives you a look at Kyoto's traditional charm, with narrow streets lined with wooden houses and small tea houses. Around dusk, you might see a geiko or maiko walking quickly to an engagement, dressed in elegant kimono. Closer to the city center, Nijo-jinya stands as a preserved inn, once used by visiting lords. Back in Arashiyama, Gyoji Temple is a small and quiet spot surrounded by soft green moss. The temple's simplicity and natural setting makes it a relaxing place to rest. Also, take a walk along Shirakawa Minamidori in Gion. The narrow street follows a canal lined with willow trees and old wooden houses, creating a calm and pleasant atmosphere. If you're looking for any tips to enhance your own personal travel and help you manage your travel budget more effectively, click the link in the description. And remember to like and subscribe to help our channel grow.